Hello everyone guys, this is another review of the ladder in the battle for Middle-earth 2 with the Ennorath mod. In first place we still have Zira. Talion almost caught up with him in second place, Bilbo was in third, the Call was in fourth, like Fabi was in fourth, yes, last time. Wind in fifth, Ivan Ermac in sixth, Pabi in seventh, Toretto in eighth, King No Crown in 9th and Ups in 10th. The lineup of those who like to play many matches is still headed by Gravit in 2nd place, Turambar, and Ivan Ermac in 3rd. The top 3 maps are Fords of Brunnen, Fords of Eisen and Westfold 2. Top 5 Victory Series, 028. Toretto 17, Furimir 16, Wind 15 and Berta 14. Today we will watch an interesting match between Bilbo and Elphaba at the Forts of Brunnen. Elphaba plays for Rohan, and Bilbo for Herad. As usual, as soon as I see Carrot, I'm immediately drooling, so well watch, maybe Bilbo will show some interesting build. He starts with a spy he plays. Well, the raid is clear. Elphaba plays militia. A cat from a subscriber says hello to you. Bilbo, I think he saw them running. And as if in this matchup it is necessary to throw the militia into the back farms so that Carrot cannot do this. This little joke spoiled the start slightly. To his enemy, well, Elphaba realized that he can't go to the crypt now because the spy will kill this squad. As you can see, he will one-shot them, they may kill him as a whole, but he will just move away when he has little HP, so Bilbo takes no risks. Really a very good start. Bilbo decided to rush with swordsmen, added throwers who would go here and set up a tavern. Overall, I would say that the matchup is still in Rohan's favor here. Rohan from the mid-game seems to be stronger than Herad, but maybe I'm wrong, of course, maybe there are some tricks that can be used. I remember losing this matchup, playing the then meta, spamming hands, but it's still good, it seems. Bilbo noticed the spearmen, but there is a hobbit and a squad of archers, so there is nothing to catch these guys. And he decides to retreat. He could have killed the spearmen so that Elphaba would be afraid. What if there was a way out to the cavalry and maybe that would have forced him not to attach the troll? I don't know what that would have done. But he decided not to risk it. So, he plays on 4 farms. By the way, Active, yeah, Hayrace the second worker. He is trying to get the troops ready as quickly as possible. He used slaves to make these 2 for himself. Fast, but for free. And builds spearmen. In this situation, the spearmen, having such a number of combat buildings, the spearmen are the most tanky unit. But in general, there will be hands-on tanks, but spearmen are very good at chorus. They are so strange, no matter how elite they are, but among ordinary troops they are probably the most expensive, the fattest. Manages to kill almost the entire squad of archers. Bilbo makes a slight mistake, but immediately corrects himself and begins to finish off the Lucre. And the battle for Crypt, in my opinion, was won by Bilbo. Yes, it was won very confidently, reinforcements were approaching, but Elphaba decided that there was nothing to catch here. And also the spy kills the hobbit, and this is just terrible, how bad it is for him. Meanwhile, the troops also came upstairs, but Bilbo had already managed to clear everything here and goes out to the Kundi. which means that he could lose everything he has here, Elphaba. He needs to get out urgently. And Bilbo immediately switched to close combat with the half-locals. There is no chance against these guys. None at all, and they are still pushing, and here the spears also came to them. And now at the moment Rohan has such a problem, he produces very good units that deal damage. But very bad units that tank. That is, the peasants are just trash, they don't dance. Here you go. But Bilbo is fine with both. The only thing about Henkenitsa is not afraid because of the throwers, but... Or should he probably be afraid? I'm not sure, but he made the flags. In my opinion, Rohan is a lousy support for Kawa at the beginning, except that Theo needs to be used to crush the throwers. But he has a copy, well, no matter, in short. That is, for now Wilb has an advantage in the fact that he has such a good start. A great straight start could mean a quick defeat for Rohan. He doesn't have enough troops here, I mean Elphabius. Or he would have decided to push him from both flanks. One squad of renegades dies, and the throwers die. One squad of archers still dies. Well, the hands are quite capable of thinning out these guys, and in my opinion, now the Elfabs won't have time to make horses, as if he needs to retreat, but he understood that. Maybe, by the way, they will have time to finish off if they switch to bows. Not sure. A detachment over Hiram appeared. I noticed an opportunity to suppress very good, by the way, yes, and now Bilbo will be forced to retreat from here. He lost quite a few corsairs. There is one more detachment, that is, he will lose their guns here. He is driven by the army of Rohan. The second tier, the best second tier in the game, is also called up. Potentially, the best call should probably be said so, because someone might argue and say that Mordor Strikes is the best second pick in the game. He gives a huge amount of money. So someone can say that the empty-headed Azina is the best, because he will not give so much money as gifts, but he will give a lot of money at the same time and will allow him to go to Saruman. At this timing, when most factions simply do not have anything that can easily counter him. So, Silladin appeared. Bilbo screwed up a bit with these Kandas, they need to get here. He decided to sell the slaves. You get 400 coins for selling slaves. Maybe he should have boosted the barracks, I'm not sure, maybe he plans to play with Hanami. Here he has some kind of hybrid, he uses corsairs. However, he does not use pirates at all. Curious. There's a pack running around, and there's Gimli. And now Rohan begins to little by little accumulate a pack that should be stronger than the Harad one. If he accumulates a lot of horse bows, they will be more tanky. And under Ymir, if he builds it, they will be stronger than, say, these guys. Or maybe even these ones. So, the fight begins. As before, Rohan has nothing to tank with, and Harad has nothing special to do at home. Something like that. Elba tries to focus the horses. But wait, maybe they would have killed the advantage, because Silladin, I didn't think about him, the leader. Yes, and that's precisely why he's dragging along here. Not even his spearmen died. Not bad. It is precisely due to the tankiness of the spearmen that he is dragging now, because his leader, it seems, is 25 to 25, so they themselves are not bad anyway. Well, very good run Rahiran. Hosted by Elphabo, that is, he has no delay. He has a slight advantage. Well, Bilbo probably doesn't have a delay either, but there are lags. Here. Something like that. Elphaba makes a mistake, and it will cost him his entire squad. The skirmish continues. Suladin pumped up the third level. Rohan still had some scraps left. The herald almost rolled away and Elmer appeared. Meanwhile, Vilb has a third tier. 1 point is missing, or 1 point, or rather, an Elphaba is missing. Basically exactly. This is a small mistake. You can't fight under a farm like that, in my opinion. Takes the third tier. There is no station at the fortress. He has little sympathy, and little money. I pushed a little here and we see an exit to 3 archers and an exit to the fly. Wow. Bilbo is trying to catch the enemy in the fact that he does not play the left branch. That is, he will not have anti-fear. Of course, he has the opportunity to counter the camp with the help of the sixth Odin. But if you manage to kill him, you won't be able to counter it. By the way, Bilbo was now trying to catch the enemy. His troops moved forward. He decided to call upon Abilka to head him. They reset the discord, but Elphaba quickly reacted. But at the same time he forgot his Gomling. It didn't seem like it would mean anything though, because Bilbo was simply ignored for now. I don't quite understand how this happened, but okay. So he threw discord, but it had no effect. Killed the hobbit, several troops. And maybe it will demolish 2 farms? One for sure, yes. I'm not sure about this one. Suladin leaves. Yawing appeared, by the way. Interesting. Oh, how Suladin is pushing at her. But we have to retreat, because the throwers are about to fire volleys. It seems that his balls have fallen off, along with them. He's also poisoned by something. Halder is called in with his squad by Galadrius and Bilbo is forced to join. Suladin survived. Yes, it's set. This is not a tower, this is for command points. Perhaps this is in order to save Suladin in case some hero arrives with a spear. Why did he leave? There are 2 gifts. By the way, if you are playing gifts and your opponent hasn't caught fire, you can play fast grades. Or fast elephants. Well, for Bilbo it was Mahad, but he lost it. Oh no, he's alive. Okay, he just didn't swing. Bilbo had no way to swing him. Well, let's say. Not a bad pack, although small, he has a very good one now. The only problem that I, by the way, just missed in my commentary. But he lost all the EKA, he has no economy, he has a good income of money, is healthy, but he has no command points, and that's why he built this. He needs more workers. Sorry for yawning. I'm basically as usual. He takes risks. Now I would hurry it, just in case. And Mahad should be given this abundance. Of course, for Makata this is practically useless. Probably the most useless crap for him. Because, well, for those who didn't know, the royal gift boosts Makata. Wait, it also says less damage from ranged attacks. Well then, okay, then it's not useless. So the Rock of Gomling does not allow you to level up for a while, but Elphaba retreats therefore with useful. Akbel would build a tower here. He needs to hold this section of the map. He needs to take the tavern. He will now lose if he does not regain control. This pack certainly won the fight now, but besides, soon there will be 20 heals and Elphaba seems to be winning. Yes, Elphaba is winning very much now this. Somehow you need to survive the Ents. Another funny thing is that Bilbo may not realize that Elphaba is winning, because he was winning the whole match. He constantly exchanged things to his advantage, but in the last skirmishes he began to lose. That is, he may not count on the enemy having more points in command. So, Gomling dies, Silodin dies. Well, it still came back to haunt him. He punished him for riding a horse near the throwers. Here. Mukhat still won't swing. You need to stand here. Elf troops would come up in the back and rush the camp is not the most profitable for a chorus, but at least he can pick up a few packs of troops for free. In principle it's normal. But then he gave it up in retreat and built this nearby. And literally half a pixel is now needed to summon the Ents, which Bilban has this moment. He is 5 points short of the tornado. The tornado could have countered the Ents, but alas. The Harbinger of Darkness can partially counter the Ents, and save the crepe. He made fire arrows. And now it all depends on where exactly the Ents will be summoned. Elphaba, if I just reinforce her, maybe she will defend herself inside the tower with fire. These don't shoot, of course. The crepe itself shoots, so technically there are 4 fire towers. Maybe it will work out. Silodin hits with fire damage, by the way, I'll keep you posted. Here. And Bilka on the 8th level just gives armor, that is, he already hits with fire. Okay, this is how Ents are called. God, how fast. Oh. He won't be able to. He won't have time to do anything. The fortress has fallen. The stinking supply block is killed. The first gift of the border, or as they call it, the banner of the Crimson Eye falls. Almost destroyed. It was destroyed. There is a third one, buried there somewhere. Someone managed to kill the man who was carrying the gold, but Bilbo still took the loot. He has 4,000 in his pocket, but in this situation the supply block actually works for abundance. They are against him because he doesn't spend anything on troops, which means he can spend money on crepes. Elves demolished the third. Outpost Banner of the Crimson Eye. I need to work on the supports. Another squad of archers is being ordered here. In principle, Elphaba's army is super shit. Now they are simply the weakest. There are only a bunch of heroes, but Silodin, like a Gigachat, simply mows them all down with his fiery blade. The soldier takes an additional level, but that's all. The Horad army died. There was practically nothing left. Several spearmen crushed everything with a rocket. The 3 heroes are ready to finish off the survivors. By the way, he did not live through the murderer. No, you probably won't be able to shoot him. There are too few troops here. A new fortress is being built. Elphaba discovered one single farm. That is very sad now. So, well, there are no troops here yet, and in general there are very few troops. That is, all he can hope for is to break a little the economy, which is already broken as it is. Well, plus Bilbo also managed to save up almost 1,000, that is, he will now finish the archers, he will have 20 heals. Kirep has nothing to cancel this now, and Muck had survived. Here Elphaba took the Vestfold Citadel. To gain access to elite troops, these guys are very good at tanking. Maybe this will just satisfy his need for fat units. Let's see. The difference in economics, of course, is simply terrible. More than 1,000. By the way, how did this happen? Have you seen? Was it 1,030? In the rating they allowed to play with 2 X's or what? Did I not pay attention, or is this a bug? 1,030? If so, that's a joke I like. Thus, Gon Baragon, the leader of the archers from the Druadan forest, appeared. In my opinion, there are no archers themselves in the army of Rohan. I saw them once in battle, that's all. Yes, Herad still has a nice pack. Mukhat is under buff now. Look at this damage. Ymir flies away, the last pope. Elmer died. Mohad took the 7th level. He can summon baby Momakil. The Herads still have a pretty tasty pack left. This is how the baby is called. He's going to end up again. Damn, Elphaba's pressure is amazing in this match. It would seem that everything would be killed here according to plan. The spearmen cover his entire army, and look at the Lucarii, they still die. He still managed to stop by. How I wish there were perfect hashes in this game, so that no one lags, so that all players can control it like this. Very cool. And by the way, again, it seems like he lost his cavalry. But although maybe I'm wrong, it seems like he made a good push. And okay, I'm already praising him in vain, but he suppressed poorly there. So, what will be done now? The 3rd tier is used by a gap in the clouds. Elphaba decided to quickly swing to Dunharrow's camp. Ymir has come and Mahad is about to die. By the way, he has a buff, but it's impossible to do anything, his health is too low. Ymir caught several spears in the ashes of his horse, but survived. At the same time, the economy improved slightly. So his pack is still more or less normal. The elves are called again, and the Cuba would be a harbinger of which he could have used long ago if he had not lost the crepe, and there is a tornado. By the way, in my opinion he made a mistake now, because if he had not taken Assus, he could have pushed all the way to the fortress where he called, flanking the devs. He could push to the fortress, take a totem, a field curtain, a tornado and a harbinger of darkness, and all this here. Maybe the problem is that he doesn't know that Nigrijan's fortress is. Maybe he thinks that she and the armor won't be enough? But alas, there are enough of them without armor. He could demolish the crate. So, Elphaba made a mistake here and left his horses. They died. Bilbakunter attacks with jammed troops. I see Elphaba is a little tired. Discord may quit in the end suddenly. Well, this is like. Not much discord, but at least something. Maybe they'll kick each other there if they stop. No, it's too late in my opinion. So, Bilbo is going on the attack again. How I like these spearmen with flags. When there are a lot of them, it looks very beautiful. So, 12 points. I went straight to the fortress, guys. There is armor on the fortress. Azus. Yes, there is a tornado. Maybe he should have waited until the Rahanites gather. I'm not sure it will carry strong, but we'll see. Oh, it seems Elphaba made a mistake or it was done on purpose. I don't know, so the field curtain is thrown, but part of the tornado has already ended. I mean part of the action time. There is also a little elephant that doesn't even spread sourness. And it looks like Wabba's plan was a success. He carries the crate, despite the huge number of Rokinians who are breathing down his back. The elf will lose her fortress. He has no money later, but he has a very good economy. Maybe if he repels this attack now, he remains in the game. Now we'll find out. The guards are trying to eat the Gomling. They succeed. And thanks to Asus, there is still some of the troops left with Bilbo still able to fight, and he does so, carries through the building. Now his task is to ruin as many farms as possible for the enemy. So he also built troops on the base. It defies. Oh, all these third-level farms, it's such a pain to lose them. Look at the command points. Bilbo suddenly began to catch up, thanks to the fact that Elphaba is losing EK. The fortress is already half built. It turns out he ordered it back when I said that he had no money. He had money. He had not yet been eliminated from this match. But Bilbo certainly did him a lot of damage with this attack. At the very least, we can say that Bilbo made a comeback. No matter who wins it. Everyone drives away the Haradians. Rohirrim also built. Or he would now break down the Vestfold citadel. Abundances appeared, that is, a fortress appeared. Very soon there will be the last campaign of the Ents, and also 3 comrades. In addition, with 18 points he can still jump the second 20 heal, which will give him a huge advantage. It seemed that Bilbo always had the advantage of the army. Elphaba could not accumulate enough horse bows in the skating rink for Eomer to spoil them. Oh, I just noticed that Silladin is destroying farms there. Yes, but he breaks very well, even without support. Look at that damage. This is a 3rd level farm. This is because his blade hits with fire. The warrior actresses mock Mahad, but Bilbo manages to demolish the shooting range and discovers the fortress. The Ents are almost ready, 22 points. Bilbo has a second 20 heal. Maybe it's worth dropping it. Maybe he's waiting? Oh, he took the Kuns. I don't know. Nice summer idea. Oh, he took Kondov to escape, sorry. Yes, that's a good idea. I didn't think at all about the fact that his fortress was not built. Hilka surrendered to Elphaba so that the Ents could live longer, and perhaps that would be enough. Yes, that was enough, and on the contrary, I finished off. But due to the fact that he took the healer, he won't be able to get the second 20 heal now. Well, right now, I mean maybe he will get a lot of troops came from Bilbo's side, and look here, there's nothing. What a great replay. Even though the bill would have lost its crate, it has a base, it has income from the farms. Elphaba has nothing, he has no place to build troops, he has no place to earn money. And he is forced to watch as a pack of Karateris simply passes him crate. They also help with the handa. This is Gigi. Thanks for watching guys, subscribe, like by everyone.